everybody, I'm Jean Bainey and welcome to my channel. Hey, hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Jean and I'm going to show you what I've been working on this week. I have been having a lot of fun doing something a little bit different. And not real different, but different for me. Probably many other people do this way, but I haven't seen it. And I just kind of got into it, and I just kept going with it, and it was a lot of fun. So what I have done, I went to the bins with my granddaughter, and she didn't like it. But she did find this little journal here, and she wanted to know if it was something I liked. And I said, yeah, I do. I think it's very cute. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. Just so that I can turn the pages here. It's just barely on the table. So, anyway, so I said, yeah, I really liked it because I loved all the color on the front of it. And it seemed well bound with that spiral. Sometimes the spirals aren't very well bound, but this one seemed to be in really good shape. So the first thing I did was I got out my journaling, my art journaling magazine that I started buying because I kind of wanted to support them. I love the magazines. I buy them occasionally on eBay for a better price than buying them brand new as they come out. But this year I went ahead and got a subscription, and so I opened this one in the January-February one, and I haven't opened the other two because I keep saving it. I want to savor the time with the magazine. But I have looked at this over and over and over and over, and I just love it. I love what's in it. It had 200 images, and I was just extremely happy to look at it. I wanted to keep it, but there's a lot in there that I'm not interested in. For example, a lot of the text and all about different things. So I thought, well, I'm going to cut it up. I'm actually going to cut it up and use some pictures. They're kind of expensive, but I just wanted to use the pictures in a different way. Or, well, I wanted to use them in a journal, and as I kind of got to cutting things up, I found out I was cutting things up and using them in parts and pieces and you know, making the images kind of a little bit my own, but not really. This book, the way I have put this together, cannot be sold because everything in it is copyrighted. From what my understanding, you can't sell images that are copyrighted. So this is purely for me, and I'm just going to show you kind of what I've been doing. This was an 2022 journal, and so I had to cover up all the dates, and that was fine with me. So what I did is I just started. Let me pull that down a little bit. I just started pulling images out and gluing them down and just covering up all the dates and all the names of the months and that sort of thing. And I just cut out all the images, and some of them I really loved and some of them I didn't. But I also cut out some of the tips that I wanted to save, things that I thought were interesting. Now, I haven't glued these down. And I haven't embellished any of the pages. This is all background stuff. This page I've started to embellish and I kind of messed it up. But hey, that's how it goes. It's mine, and I can mess it up if I want to. I did want to make sure I remembered what issue that I was working in. So I do have this January, February, March issue 2023, and it's volume 15, issue 1 of this magazine, Art Journaling. And so anyway, so I just kind of started, and the first thing I did is I just took everything that I bought at the bins. Like I bought this lace, and I bought some stickers, and I bought this background thing, which I thought was a sticker, but it wasn't. It was like a vinyl cling, and on the other side it says student driver, which I didn't see, but I did like the iridescent look to it. So that's the side I saw. That's the side I bought, and student driver is under it, but you'll never see it because it's glued down very well. And then I put the stickers on it. But as I started working in this journal, the stickers didn't go. I needed just different kinds of stickers. These were very contemporary stickers, and everything in the art journaling is very mixed media, just all grungy and different. So anyway, the stickers didn't go. So I covered it up. I had some paper like this, and I crumpled it all up. And what I want to do is I want to use this for a journal mostly to write in. So I started out with let the journaling begin here. The backgrounds are in, and now it's time to embellish them or not, journal or not. And it's all about how you feel on any given day. And I think what I'll start doing is I'll just put dates on it, because it doesn't have to be a year. It does have the tabs for the different months, but I'm going to cover those. Those are going to be part of my embellishments. So they'll be covered, and we'll see that. Now, I may get a lot of shiny stuff, but I've got this set up so I can actually see the camera. So hopefully you'll be, oh gosh, I'm 7 minutes in and I'm only on the first page. Okay, I'm sorry. You all don't need that. And like I say, this was one. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. God knows each of us by name. He knows your name. So let's, here and now, we know he knows our name. So what I will probably do is put my name on there and embellish around it, and, just kind of play with it. But I really haven't started other than what I have done tonight, which was actually the very first day. It's been about 5 days maybe I've been working on this. So it was about 5 days ago I put that on there. So anyway, so these are all the images, and I started out using other things. Like I say, I started out using that and all that. But from here on out, I think they're all images. Well, here's some more of that paper. They're all images and quotes from the magazine. And then I did leave this in since it's 2024. I'm thinking I'm going to be using it in 2024, but I'm actually not. So I'll probably cover that up too. Because truthfully, I mean, really, how many holidays are on a different day each year? Not too many. So that's kind of silly to have St. Patrick's Day being marked as, it's on March 17th. Like, people don't know that. So anyway, but again, these are all images from the magazine, the mixed media. I turned some sideways, and I cut them up. And like I say, on this one, I just added those. And I have a blank page. Don't know how that happened. Start right off with a blank page. But my thought is to make backgrounds, just to do backgrounds. So, and then later on, I'll add my focal points and just kind of play with it. So that's so I'm just going to kind of go through here and just kind of show you how I changed this magazine. And you know what? I cut up every single image. I hardly had anything left of, I mean, I didn't have any images left. I used every image that I could, because some of them were on the back, but even if there were parts of the image left, I used those parts. For example, like that, or just change things around and just added, just to make it pleasing to me. And I tried to leave spots to journal in if I wanted to. So here's another page, and then I made that, which I love. I just had so much fun with this. And I was watching Janet Nash, and usually I spend a lot of time in the chat and chatting with everybody and greeting people and you know, saying things about what Janet's doing and this and that. But this week, so I know I was working on it Monday morning. I think I started it Sunday, actually. Anyway, I was working on this, and I was just having the best time. So I had these are little quotes. This I don't know. This issue seemed to be all about how to do mixed media, kind of. Just little things in here which were just so wonderful to remember. If you only journal lighthearted art, I encourage you to dig deeper and let your soul touch your pages. Well, I hope that's how it works out. And then tips that I really wanted to. I do have a date still there, but that will come with the embellishing. So this is just how it looks at the moment. I want to keep reminding you. This is how it looks at the moment. But I just had so much fun just taking the images, cutting them up, and putting them on the pages. Just collaging them on the way I really like it to make a background. And truthfully, every one of these images could be its own focal point, because it's just beautiful. But I did cut them. I did cut them small, and the one thing that the magazine does, which I love, is they do zero in on certain parts of the magazine or certain parts of the total piece and make it really big so you can see the detail, which I think is just fabulous. So it's just one of my favorite magazines. So anyway, I took pieces of it and made a figure, and I was really pleased with that. I just love that. I can't wait. I just can't hardly wait to get started on all these pages. And so you may see this book from time to time. This one I didn't change anything. I just put it in the way it was. I particularly like this one because I'm just doggone hippie myself, and that kind of speaks to me, you know, that it's okay, no matter what shape or size or whatever you are, it's just okay, because it's your art that matters. That's not what they mean, you know, by doing that. That's just their style of drawing. But when I look at it, I'm thinking, yeah, that's kind of neat. So anyway, I did put in the name of the magazine here and there. Pain is real, but so is hope. Just because I just added that, because my goodness, that actually wasn't in the magazine. It fell into my lap when I was working from somewhere, and I thought, I'm putting that in because I've been dealing with this sciatica stuff, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting around because it's just painful, and it's just not going away, and it's been months and months, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. But actually, I feel like this week, just being busy and doing other things, it was actually better. So I'm getting better. Okay, just some more quotes here. And I think that is actually just a close-up of what I had on the inside of the one of those first few pages. But I just love collaging these together, and I just wanted to share them and let you see what I've done. I did some things sideways just to make the book a little more interactive, so you have to pick it up and turn it around to read it. And so you have to kind of be involved in the book. You can't just mindlessly go through and read things and forget about it. Make friends with silence. That has never been a problem for me. I love my quiet time. I hardly ever turn on music. I hardly ever turn on the TV or anything when I'm working in my art room. I find those things just distracting, not pleasing. I love my silence. So anyway, so that's kind of fun. This one I did put a focal image on. I had that, and then later on when I was working and I cut this out, I flipped back and I thought that looks great on there. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on. And then I've got this. So there's lots of space to journal there. I've got my tips. I've got my close-up of this page. Actually a close-up of a part that I've covered up. How about that? That's kind of fun. Play, create, be inspired. I feel I'm inspired every time I'm using this magazine or looking through it. I did a little bit of just embellishing just to kind of see what it was. This page, this actually is sideways also, but I liked how it looked this direction. It looked very casual. So I did just a little bit of doodling on that, more so on this one than this one. But because I had that green pen and I had the green and the gray and white, I just thought, oh, that will look kind of pretty. And I'll just kind of play with that. So lots more to do on those pages, of course. Lots more here. There's really a lot of pages to go through, so I shouldn't stop too much on here. But I want you to see the pages. I want you to see how wonderful they are. And a whole magazine full of wonderful images. My only problem is when I look at these images, I feel like, oh, that's already been done. I can't do that now. And so I kind of, it kind of limits me a little bit. But I do understand that with my art supplies and my way of doing things, it won't come out the same. So I have to remember that I can still kind of do similar things and use that for an inspiration and not just copy. I don't want to copy things. But it's okay to use them like you do in a background, because you're going to be covering it with your focal image, similar to this. I found they had a whole section of just these interesting faces, and so it was very fun to use those in different places. But I just think the pages turned out so pretty and so much fun, and there's so much reading in here. The challenge was going to be in figuring out how to learn as much as I could from these lessons while being true to myself and my own style. And that's something like I was talking about earlier that I do need to work on and make sure that I stick with my own style. And that page opens up. I try to do a few little different things, but mostly it's just glued down backgrounds. Glued down. And, it was so fun. It's almost like a glue book. I feel like this could even stand alone for me, that I would get pleasure just looking at it this way, just because I was kind of tired after looking at this all winter, all spring, all summer in the same way. So this way I've cut it up and changed it to suit me. So it's kind of arrogant maybe, but that's just how I'm sometimes I skip pages because the glue, even though I try to put a pencil in between every page and let them dry naturally. Oh, I want to pull that down just a little bit. so that you can see that. Okay, so I'm thinking we're not seeing a lot of glare, and trying to keep that on there. I did happen to come across an envelope with the Hallmark crown on it, and I probably should have put the crown over the Thursday, but that'll come later. Think positive, love that. Oh, I'm just so happy that I saved all those little quotes, because it's just very, very fun to read them over still. And even though, I didn't hardly read them in the magazine, but when I was cutting it up, then I did. I made just a little pocket. It really needs to have an extra piece through there. But these were images that I really didn't want to lose the back side of for some reason. I was testing it. There was actually other ones, but these were the ones that were the right size for the pocket. And I thought, you know what? I really don't need anything more in the pocket but just a journal card. So I should back that with a card and keep that in the pocket and use these two on another page somewhere. So that's kind of in the plans. That's kind of my basic working plan. But who knows what will happen when the time comes. And also, I'm going to, when I'm working on it, I'm going to make sure I get every edge glued perfectly. I've noticed as I'm turning through it, trying to keep my, separate my pages, that some of those are coming up a little bit. One of the things I liked about this page here is I looked at this gentleman dancer and the lady dancer, and then I came across this picture. It was in the magazine. It's one of the images of the old man and the old woman, and I thought that that's them inside. So, I'm old now. I'm very old. I am ancient. But inside, I still feel like I'm in my 20s. So, I was particularly happy with that page. So anyway, and then here's some more. Just a lot of collaging pictures. They're just all collaged, and then there'll be, backgrounds. They always feel like tiny treasures. And that's the one thing I do love about collage, is that the more you look at it, the little tiny things are just the fun little things to see. And then here's another page. Lots of room for journaling on some of these pages. And I might add more because I have other magazines. And I did pick up a magazine at the hairdresser. She said, oh, take any magazine you want. And I said, well, I kind of like this one, but it's an expensive one. And she said, oh, you can have that. Nobody reads that. So in the back of the book, when I ran out of images from the other, I used some images from here. I've already, there's not too many because most of it is just showing you how to do these things. But there's some wonderful images, and I definitely wanted this magazine. So anyway, I'll show you when I get to the end, because I'm not quite finished, and I don't want to deviate away too far away from where we're at here. Okay, we're still in frame, and yeah, this is like a close-up of one of the images in the magazine. So I just really do like that. Let's see, I'm keep hitting that. And in this, just a little bit covering up the dates. And then again, I made like a little person. Can you actually see it? It's kind of hard to see, but There's your eyes, your neck and shoulders, and then your legs. It's a bit of a stretch, but I see it when I turn the page. And I love the doodles and so forth. And I might continue making some of those when it comes time to come work on this page. I did tend to put in some stickers from my bunny rabbit pack here and there, but really very few. This entire journal, I use the entire magazine in this journal. Although I am getting into a group with My Take at the Lake and Doki Doki Forest, and where we're going to harvest magazines, like 3 to 5 magazines or 5 to 7 magazines. And then when we're done harvesting what we want, we're just going to send them, we're going to bundle them and send them around like a round robin. And so there'll be a little hashtag about that. I'll do the hashtag. And so that's not a magazine I'm going to strip out and use every single thing in it. But I will just take out my very favorite things and then pass them along. I get a ton of magazines. Some people don't get very many magazines. So but whenever I watch a harvesting video, there's always things in it that I see and I think, why didn't they take that? That is so awesome. So anyway, so that's coming up. It's coming up. These are just I think these are the same as, I think that was in that particular section. Each section of the magazine is done by a different artist. So, like there might be 3 pages with this artist and 5 pages with that artist. So, it just goes right straight through from artist to artist. So you see a lot of different kinds of art. Some, these are things that I like to do, but it's nice to see them already done and use them. And I've always been kind of reluctant to cut up magazines like this, but I have found that it's really fun to, not particularly in this page, I use this just exactly as it is, but some of them I cover up, and some of them I'll put a focal point on that, and but mostly these are just images I enjoy, so I'm just going to have fun playing in it. Anyway, very, very fun. Who, why ads? Don't understand that. But anyway, I was actually going to cut out the fish and use it. I mean, that's what I was kind of looking to do. And I think I might be doing that a little bit more. I kind of missed some of those things. But, cutting out the fish out of that and then having these parts for backgrounds and then putting the fish across something else, maybe in a different direction. I do love the bubbles, how it came up. And that cat is hilarious. Got this page. I'm just sure I'm going to be missing some pages because they're going to stick. So you can see how different each artist is, but I kind of mixed them all up because I started going page by page by page and taking the whole page and putting it together. And then as I started cutting and cutting and cutting and then choosing from all those cuttings, things kind of got mixed up in those. This is another image that when I actually put her on here, I realized later that looks like her legs. So that turned out that was kind of a little bonus extra person there. And this one. Cut that, but just every page when I turn it, I just fall in love with their art. And then hopefully I'll change these pages around and make it mine. So fun. And a lot of them, like I did, I put things sideways. And so when I do an image, I'll probably put something over that so you won't know that it's sideways, because that's the only thing that really stands out, that it's in sideways. This one I loved because all of the images that this artist drew were all looking in that direction, except for this one that was just kind of a little offshoot that was on one of the last pages. So I cut her out because I could save her, but I couldn't save the rest of the grouping in that. And anybody who already has this magazine, and there's probably many of you that do, will be even more interested in seeing how these images have changed, and they look completely different now in my book than they did in the magazine. Oh, but anyway, so she's looking, I see her now looking here, and I was tickled about that. They apparently were made on playing cards, and I left that in just to cover up, but that probably will get covered up eventually. And these are really more background parts, but I did love this poem, and it kind of made me think of just it seems like the poem is directed to about people in your life that have passed away. So I really wanted to keep that. And then I just, on this, I just took the scraps and just glued them in just like scraps, because they do have a little shape, and I like that. Here's some more scraps. If you'll look, you'll see that there were some scraps. Again, this is sideways for a reason, so that you have to work at seeing what's in there. And you have to, I have still places that I missed covering up. Here's some more scraps. I think this might be where I discovered the scraps are really fun to use. Because I was, tossing and tossing so much. I had a whole bag load of paper that was just print, just print. I used some print early on, but mostly I just wanted the images, the tips, and the quotes. So this was fun. Oh, there's a part that was stuck in there. Just fun. I just hope you like this as much as I do. I'm really, this is the cover. This was part of the cover. And I covered up where it said, I think it said there's 200 images, or, oh no, that's the thing that says how much the magazine costs, or I can't remember what you call it, the lines. the lines. Anyway, I covered that up, and I still have a little bit of writing there that I actually took. And some of this could be trimmed down, but I'm not so sure I'm going to, make everything perfectly even. This is just so oddball. It didn't fit at all in the magazine, but when I used it anyway, it was actually an advertisement on the back inside cover of the magazine. But I thought they were just adorable, and they weren't anything like anything else. But I thought, well, I'm going to use them anyway. And I may find them too jarring, and they may get covered up. But for now, I was making it my goal to get everything I could into this book. And then I was going to stop and just get rid of all the extra pages. But then I found that other book, and I thought, well, I can continue on because it's definitely mixed media, even though it's not on paper, it's on metal. So anyway, there's another part of the cover. Just so fun, just so fun. Oh, and this was funny because it's a very solemn face. But I put down here, be happy and bright and be you. Just the kind of thing this kind of person in that kind of mood wants to hear, right? That really cracked me up. Okay, onward, onward. Oh, look at that. I have a whole page here I missed. Oh, no, this was where I was going to stop because this was the end of the magazine with all this stuff. I think I still have one more picture. I think it's still in there, in the back here. There's still another picture that I could still do here. But I think this was basically the end of the magazine. And then here it is. But it didn't really go with that particularly. I didn't really like it with that. So, not sure what I'm going to do with that one. I mean, it could go here. I love the mahjong tiles. That reminds me, those are the same kind that my grandmother had. And she always let us play with them like building blocks. And I just thought they were just the best. I just loved them. I didn't know how to play mahjong. I don't even know how to say it. Don't crucify me for how I'm pronouncing it. But I as soon as I saw that, I just loved it. I knew that had to go in. And that actually looks like an old city, which my grandparents lived in Oakland. My grandfather grew up in San Francisco until he was 10 or 12 maybe. No, 13, I think, when the earthquake happened and they lost their home. And if you've ever seen that walk down Market Street on YouTube just before the San Francisco earthquake, my grandfather lived right off of one of those streets. And so every time I watch that, and I have watched it so many times, I look at all the children so carefully and the people and their faces, hoping that I might recognize my grandfather, his sister, or his parents. But so far, nope. But they were there and they lived in that area. And after the earthquake, they moved to Oakland, and then I think they settled in Berkeley. And then when my grandfather married, he lived in Oakland. And they lived in Oakland the whole time. The whole time they were married. In fact, I have a picture of them on my Facebook page. I put a picture of them up today. I just happened to run across it in my wandering through looking for images for something, and I posted that. So if you want to go, you can see my grandma and grandpa in the 30s. They'd been married at least 10, 12 years. They got married in 1919, right after the war. As soon as he came home from the war, he was in the army, and he was in France. And while he was there, he kept a journal. And he drew in it, and he wrote in it, and, it was just, he didn't have any papers, of course, to glue in it, but I have a copy of the journal. My aunt made me a copy of every page, so someday I'll get that out and show you. Again, this is the new magazine. These are all the new magazine from this Metalcraft Discovery Workshop. Creating with metal has never been easier. And I am saving a couple of their little things about how to alter the metal, because sometimes I do have flat metal things. It might be kind of fun to alter them and then them not just be rusty, but actually have a plan for those. I think I kept that in the back. But anyway, and this recipe box is not the same one my mom had, but the same style. And the word recipes is written just like hers was. So, and I love the Queen Elizabeth picture. I think that's no, it's not Queen Elizabeth. I love the Queen picture. I thought it was Queen Elizabeth when I just glanced at it and put it in. But now that I'm looking at it, no, it's a lady with just a crown on her head. Just kind of like me, Queen Jean. So I've been christened that name by Amy from Doki Doki Forest. And so I'm kind of going with it because I like it. Anyway, this guy was so cute. I have another little image of him with partially cut off, but I didn't put him on there. That's how that image looked right from the beginning. And you know, just love this. This is a mailable postcard, and I thought, wow, that's something that I'm interested in. I love postcards and used to belong to the, well, I still am a member of Post Crossings. And I'm going to start up sending postcards again because I just love to send postcards. This reminds me of my mother. We have a picture of her, almost the identical dress, crossing her legs like that, her hair cut just like that. And it's just fabulous. And so I put it back in here because I used her picture. I think if you saw it, it was back there. We're going pretty long, so I'm not going to hunt for it. But I used her picture, a bigger image of it, so I didn't want to use it too close to here. And I did forget to mention it and tell you about it. So this was still from the first magazine, but I thought I had enough images to complete the whole book, so I put a couple of them back farther and just kind of a placeholder. But these are still the metal ones. Here's again the lady, and love that image. And then these are still images I still have to put in. And this is where I ended. I'm ending in October. I really don't have too many more pages to do because there's only 4 pages for every month. This I put back here in November because it was a harvest, kind of a gather and lost and found, kind of a harvest theme, I thought. So I put that back here in November, thinking at this time I was still going to keep the tabs and use it for the year 2024. Back here in the very end now, do I have it? Yes, it's glued down, empty glue. I saved this because it, I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and bring that really close. See how those metal pieces are different? This is how to do it. You spray it with water and you submerge the copper pieces in a bowl of crushed potato chips and spray them well with water. Cover the bowl with a lid or plastic wrap and leave it. When you can't wait any longer, check the process of your patina, and that photo there shows the end results. So anyway, so I thought I might want to try that. And then I happened to cut that up. Oh, well, I can't find that. This happened to come in the mail, so I put that in the back just to keep for safekeeping. Well, I don't know where the other one is. The other one is you put a bowl of ammonia and salt inside of another bowl. And then you put a screen over it and you lay your metal pieces on top and then you cover the 2 bowls. And the fumes from the from the ammonia and salt mixture, color the copper in a bright blue splotchy looking pattern. And I didn't get to save the picture, but I saved the directions, and somewhere, oh, still in the book probably, still in the book, somewhere I actually have those. See, here's that guy. I cut that. I still saved that. And I saved her, and I saved this. And these, whenever I see the dominoes, I think of, oh, who do I want to say? I think of her. I can see her in my mind's eyes. Rebecca, of the Pitbull fame. I can be excused for not being able to recall the names completely instantly, even though I know it as well as I know my own. Because she worked with dominoes and she knew how to color them beautifully, and she actually covered a table with them. And I've bought them thinking I'm going to do that. I just never have. But she will make really interesting three-dimensional wonderful pieces, which I don't do at all. But anyway, Rebecca dances with pit bulls. Is it just Rebecca dances with pit bulls? It's more than that. Somehow that's not sounding right. Maybe because it's just late. But anyway, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm going to start. This is the very beginnings of just an extra journal. This is not a chunky junky. This is not going to have a lot of trashy type things in it. I want to make the pages, each one, its own mixed media piece. It's going to be an art journal, not it is an art journal. It's already an art journal. So it's not going to be a glue book, because a glue book, there's just so many different definitions. But to me, a glue book is something like where you just, almost like a scrapbook, where you just put your favorite pictures in and nothing else. To me, that's a glue book. My chunky junky journal is like, I'm going to clear my desk off and everything on it's going to go on that page or the next 5 pages. That's kind of like that's a junk journal, all junk going into it, and putting it in a way that pleases me. And they're very fun to do. I spend too much time working at my chunky junky. So this will be kind of a challenge to make each page its own mixed media piece. So I hope you like it. And this is my Friday flip through Friday. Is that what it is? Flip through Friday. I'll get it right. And when I put this up, so I'm just going to send it to you the way it is. This thing is tilted now. It's not tilted right. But I think that I managed to get through it without making too many glary pages, even though these are all actually shiny. It must be the magazine, because they have such nice paper. The paper is just wonderful. It's not like magazine paper that's thin, even though it is a magazine. I probably should get one out and show you. But it's too late, because we're already at 49:19 and it's kind of a long video. So I will let you go, and maybe when I'm working in it, I'll turn the camera on and share with you what I'm working on. But I'll probably be doing another flip through when I get a lot of pages done. Or not. Who knows what I'll do. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you very much for watching and supporting my channel. I do really appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.